This is going to be fun, and some of you didn't stand. That was your break. You understand, in Primerica, they give you a break by letting you do a standing ovation. I know where the standing ovation is for. I had a chance to talk with Carol. I've been married to Carol for 48 years. Thank you. But after a few counseling sessions, she finally shaped up, so we're together still. And I said to her, Carol, if we didn't have the money we have, the 2 homes we have, all these trips to Europe that we take with our family, which we do every year, we take our whole family to Europe, would you still love me? She said, Bill, yes, of course I'd love you. I would miss you, but I would still love you. I'm going to be talking about my favorite subject, and this is going to rankle some people. I'm going to be talking about money. Now, I know there's a lot of prejudice in this room regarding money because you've been brainwashed not to want to make money, because your head is filled with all these cliches that speak badly about money and having money and accumulating money, because people that say that are broke. Do you ever hear of Kelly Clarkson? Kelly Clarkson said, people that say money's not important are the people who have money. Where I come from, the broke people never said that. And you got to understand, why did you come into Primerica? And if it's anything other than to make money, you won't make money. Very simple as that, right? Well, I didn't come here for the money, and you're probably not going to make any money. I came here to help people. You're the first one that's going to leave. Because why? Why do you leave? Because I'm not making any money. Well, why'd you come here? Not for the money. One of my pet peeves are people saying, the money is good, but it's not about the money. It's about the money. You say, well, Bill, that's hard, that's crass. Well, I've been broke and I've been rich. Rich is better. Again, I'm going to rankle some people. I'm going to disturb some people in this room. Some people are already mad at me because you disagree with me. But understand that Oprah Winfrey said, once you've been hungry, I forgot the quote. My mind is somewhere else. Basically, she said, once you've been broke, once you've been hungry, you can never be full. So people that are not money motivated, I know what your background is. Life has been pretty easy for you. Life has been pretty good. Life has been pretty nice. But if you've ever been without money and you've struggled with money, you know what? Money's a pretty big thing in your life. There's this one guy that came here from Africa, and he was living with a family, and he was listening to the radio. He said, all your songs are about love. He said, you must not have enough love in your lives because your songs all are about love. Where I come from in Africa, we had a water shortage. All our songs were about water. You're here to make and accumulate money. That's why you're here. And our system is a system to do that. Let me just read some quotes to you. If you are not willing to be wealthy, no one can help you. If you are determined to be wealthy, no one can stop you. A brilliant book that I think everyone needs to read is a book by a man named Dennis Kimbro, Kimbro. It's entitled A Wealth Choice, which means what? Wealth is a choice. And he went out and interviewed all these millionaires. And he went to and interviewed a man named John Johnson. John Johnson is the founder of Jet Magazine and Ebony. And he sat down with John Johnson to visit with him about what caused him to be a millionaire. The first word out of John Johnson's mouth was this: how come you're not rich? You know what Dennis Kimbro said? I was embarrassed and ashamed because I had never even thought about being wealthy or rich. He said, you're healthy, you're educated, you live in America, why are you living broke? Never thought about it. What's in your head is going to be in your wallet. If it's not in your wallet, it's because it's not in your head first. Do you have the stomach to get wealthy? There's a man by the name of Rabbi Daniel Lapin. Let me just read one thing to you. Do you ever hear, some of you folks may not have heard this Hall of Fame baseball player named Satchel Paige. Satchel Paige? He said, money isn't everything, but it sure calms my nerves. There's a man named Rabbi Daniel Lapin. Rabbi Lapin obviously is a Jewish rabbi, and he wrote a wonderful, wonderful book that I've read, I think 4 times now, called Thou Shall Prosper, or the 10 Commandments of Making Money. Now, he talks about how the Jewish people are a small percentage of the population of America, but in the richest top 400 people in the United States, about 25% of them are Jewish. There's got to be a reason that they have about 2% of the population, but 25%, might be 20% of the rich people in America. And it's not because that's how Jewish people think. No, it's spiritual. He said that when you make money, you're serving people. And when you serve people, you serve God. Now let me define the word serve to you. Because we all hear you got to serve people, or you got to serve people. What does that mean? Making somebody's life better. The purpose of life is for you to make somebody's life better. That's why you exist. If you're not making money, you know what that means? You got to find a way to make more people's lives better. And he said, God created business. Think about that. Everything is business. As you go home today, look at all the businesses. Business was created by God as a system to force us to serve one another. So in business, how do you make money? You serve people. You make their life better. So if you want to make more money, you got to find ways to make people's lives better. In America today, people think they deserve a lot of money because they need it. Get all these unemployed people saying, I need the money. Someone better hire me. No, you have to have a thought, I'm going to make your life better. If you're unemployed and you want a job, go into an interview on Monday and say this, you hire me, I'll make your life better, and you'll be hired. Most people say, hire me, I need the money. No, your job is to make people's lives better. And he says this, if there's anything you do that makes somebody's life better, you're serving God. We tend to think that the only people who serve God are people that don't, it's a nonprofit, or people that work in churches. As an example, if a secretary works for a pastor, is she serving God? Well, yeah, she works for a pastor. Is my secretary serving God? Oh, no, she works in a bit. No. Anything you do that makes somebody's life better is serving God. And so in the Jewish community, listen to this, you ready? Buckle up. You ready? You ready for this? You Christian folk, you ready? If you're not making money in the Jewish community, you are an embarrassment to the community. Why? Well, you're not serving people. If you're not serving people, you're not making money. And so if you're not making money, you're not serving God. We in the Christian community don't get that. We have insulated ourselves from the thought of making money because why? Money is root of all evil. Make too much money, where do you go? To hell. Like the guy said one time, all these people instruct you on money, all the broke people. Like I said, money doesn't buy you happiness, Bill. I said, how do you know? Isn't it funny? They pull out these cliches so they don't have to go out and make money, which means I don't want to have to make anybody's life better. I want the world to make my life better. Guy said to me, you make too much money, you go to hell. I said, oh, really? He said, yep, straight to hell. I said, can you do me a favor? He said, what? I said, can you tell me exactly how much money that is so I can make $1 less? I said, how much is it? I said, 40,000, you go to hell? There's got to be a number. No, Bill, you know how I'm not sure if, I'm from Chicago, and when anybody wants to put you down, you know what they say? Come on. And then in Chicago, they don't say, come on, they say, come on. Kind of guttural, God, right? Come on. They say 40,000, come on. 50,000, there's got to be a number when you go to hell. You make too much. Well, how much is too much? 50,000, come on. 70,000, you're getting close. You know what you find out? Anybody making more money than you is going to hell. But you are not going to hell because you're not one of those money, greedy, no good people. The federal government's really good at this, the rich and the poor. Right? We got to help the poor people, right? What's poor? What do you mean by poor? Poor, Bill, poor. Rich people are bad. They steal from the rich, poor. They make their money stepping on the shoulders of the little guy. That's how they got rich, greedy, no good people. So we spend our life. I'm from the south side of Chicago, by Midway Airport. And my father was a factory worker, so was my mother. And all my life I heard rich people were bad. Rich people were bad. Rich people are no good. Now, what were my thoughts about becoming rich? I didn't want to be one of those bad, rich people. Until I started meeting some rich people, and I realized they're not bad. In fact, the way they got rich is making other people's lives better. I thought, that's wrong. But when you're broke, you got to blame somebody for you being broke because it can't possibly be you. So it's got to be those rich guys. You ever notice how the politicians of America all get rich telling you how bad the rich people are? How can you go into politics broke and 15 years later be worth 20 million? How can that be? But isn't that funny? You listen to any politician, rich people are bad, rich people are bad. They're worth 100 million, but they're bad. So here's what Rabbi Lapin said. Money distills the very essence of a person's usefulness to their fellow man. It's a measurement stick. Are you helping people? Yeah. How much money are you making? Well, it's not about the money. Whoa, 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 whoa. It's a measurement. He said, if you have money in your pocket and you did not steal it, you earn the money by making somebody's life better. Right? Listen to this now. This is powerful. He said, if you walk into a person's office and the wall is full of certificates of high achievement and performance, right? Certificates all over the place where they were recognized and given a certificate because they achieved making something better and excellent for another organization or people, right? Rabbi Lapin said, money are certificates of high achievement and performance. If you don't have enough certificates in your pocket, that means you better find a way to make people's lives better, and you do that by bringing value to them, and they will exchange that for their money. They will give you the money because you made their life better. See, we've never studied money and how money is made. You know how money is made? You bring value to people. Did you have a cup of coffee this morning? Yeah. Where'd it come from? McDonald's. No, where'd it come from? Where was the origination? Somebody started a coffee farm, right? Plantation. And he put all those workers. The workers made money. The pickers made money. The owner made money. The truckers made money. The people made money on the ship. The people in Maxwell House made money. Everybody's making money. Now, why did they do that? So they can make money. And they made your life better. It's amazing. People never think about the economics. They think money is just kind of there. No. Money indicates your value to another human being. So if I can sit down with you and make a sale, as an example. When I joined a company, Virginia Carter helped me with my term in whole life, converted it from whole life to term. She made about $300. That brought me value. I went from a $25,000 policy to $125,000. She brought me value. But then she talked about this business. And she gave me an idea of what life can be like when I'm overriding hundreds and thousands of people. What was that transference of an idea worth to her in value? She made, ready for this? Drum roll. $20 million off of me because of that idea. But I made more than that off of me. So why should you recruit people? Because you're bringing value to them. And the money you receive shouldn't be an embarrassment. Should be walk around and say, look at all the money I made. Look at, I'm wealthy, I'm rich, I get all this money. That means that what? I've been making people's lives better. I've been bringing value to people for decades now. If you say it's not about the money, you know what that means? Don't measure me. Don't condemn me if I don't do something. What if we all in the Christian community had the Jewish philosophy of it is an embarrassment in our community not to make money? We'd all what? We'd have to find ways to make people's lives better. So you got to be thinking constantly, what am I doing? Listen to this. Think and Grow Rich says this: the accumulation of money cannot be left to chance, good fortune, or luck. Well, I hope, right? One must realize that all who have accumulated great fortunes first did a certain amount of dreaming, hoping, planning. Which means what? You got to come in here for the money. Because if you're not here for the money, you will not make anybody's life better. And how do I know how well you're making? How much money you're making? How much is in your pocket? What's your net worth? Oprah said this: once you've been hungry, you can never be full. Need more money? Would you like to have more money? Find ways to make people's lives better. Now, if you recruit me, you're making my life better than if you just sold me. So your job isn't to recruit people. Your job is to make their lives better. And you can make their lives better by going out and at least letting them know. Rabbi Lappin talks a story about how when he was a teenager, he had a car that was broken. And his father said, here's a good mechanic, go to this mechanic, I trust him. He went to the mechanic, and the mechanic fixed his car. Rabbi Lappin came in the next day and said, how much? The man said, no charge. And Rabbi Lappin understood. He said, but it's not my father's car, it's my car. And the man said, when I serve you, I serve your father. When we serve our fellow man, we're serving God. When you write a life app, you're serving God. When you sell a mutual fund, you're serving God. When you recruit somebody, you're serving God. When you have people come, you're serving God. Why do we think it's only certain areas of life? Because most of us walk around frustrated, and we're never told it's okay to make money. It's okay to work business. It's okay to make $1 million a year. It's okay to be SNSD. It's okay to have thousands of people. You're serving God when you do. But no, only when you're a doctor, only when you're a nurse, only when you're a pastor. I was listening to Christian radio, which I do almost constantly. The guy said, you got to find a way to serve God. Now, here's an example. If you're a plumber, you might think about going to Africa and helping the people build wells. Please. They think the only way you can serve God is by serving people who are homeless and helpless and need food and are abandoned. No. Anything you do to make somebody's life better that you get paid for is serving God. And by the way, if you're not going to get paid for it, you're not going to do it. Even pastors get paid. Rabbi Lapin said this: money is the quantifiable, which means what? Measurable, analog of your life force, the aggregate of your time, skills, experience, persistence, and relationships. I want to build a culture of people proud to be making money, are excited about making money, have money. See, most people think, well, he is giving back, right? You know what that means? They took. Now they're giving back from what they took. Well, he's giving back. I want to make enough money where I can give back. Rabbi Lapin said that concept started with the pirates, where the pirates would loot ships, and these rich pirates started concerned about their souls, so they gave the money to the churches, which means they took, now they're giving back. See, in our business, as an example, when you make money and you build an orphanage, you're not giving back, you've already given. That's how you got the money. You cannot have money if you didn't bring value to people and make their lives better. So when you do that and you have money, you want to build an orphanage, you're what? You're doing twice the value. But don't think when I make money, I feel guilty about it. No. If I have too much money, let me use an example. In our lives, we don't like to talk about money. I'm not condemning this church, but let me use those code words for money in a church environment. We want you to give a love offering. We want you to tithe. We're going to pass the basket. We'd like to have you partner with our organization. Oh, you're just as bad. I'm not money motivated. I'm not one of those guys. Oh, really? Yeah. Do you want your kids to get a scholarship? Oh, yeah. You know what a scholarship is? Free money. We have code words. What's the salary? What's my compensation package? What's the economic benefit to me? In other words, just say you want money, right? All of us want money. Guess what my wife says? I need a bigger allowance. She wants more money. And guess what the government says? We need to what? Internally revenue you. And you know what the politicians say? You got to pay your fair share. What do you mean? Fair share, fair share. What does that mean? I pay $500,000 a year in taxes. I do. $500,000. I think that's more than my fair share. But see, it's not enough. Because the poor people need help. I can help the poor people. Let them join Primerica, for God's sakes. In fact, tell you the kind of guy I am. I have free training classes every Tuesday night and every Saturday morning at my office where I teach people how not to be poor. And my parking lot is never full. Rabbi Lapin said, money distills the very essence of a person's youthfulness to their fellow man. So how much money is in your pocket? Not a lot. I know how you can fix that. Find more people to serve and to be of value to. If you got 100 names in your cell phone, you better call them all and say, I got something of value you need to hear. See, Primerica has got endless deep pockets, will pay all the money you want to pay if you care enough. Now, when I joined the business, I admit I came here for the money. I know some of you are ashamed of me. But because I was incented to make money, you know what I figured out? Every time I made a phone call, I made $20. You know that? How much you make per phone call? Well, I don't know. Well, you better find out. Do you know that every time I went on an appointment, I made $150? Did you know that? Did you know every recruit that comes into my base shop, every time they just join, I make $520. So why do you want to recruit 20 people a month? Because they make $10,000 a month. Recruiting 20 people. I made their lives better, and so I've done what? I put an economic number on everything I do so I know what I'm getting paid. As an example, if I said to you, go make a phone call to somebody right now, you come back, I'll give you $20. Would you go make that phone call? Well, why would you do it? So I can make the 20. You say, well, you shouldn't do it. As an example, years ago, my son Patrick was in school and he was struggling in math. And I went up to the headmaster and I said, how can I help my son do better in math? He said, oh, it's easy. So really, he said, bribe them. I said, well, what do you mean? He said, bribe them. I said, well, I shouldn't have to do that. He said, well, how's that working? So guess what I said? I said, Patrick, I'll give you $240, right? He wanted something for his car. Guess what he did? He got better in math, and I gave him the $240. Did he do it to do better at math? No, but he did it for the $240, but he got better at math. Why do you want your kids to study hard, really? Down deep, so they can get a scholarship. Why do you want your kids to study hard? So they do well in school, so when they get out, they get a better job. What's a better job? They make more money. Where we know what you are, we're just dickering about the price. If you're not money motivated, I don't know what to do with you. I can't motivate you, I can't stimulate you. Rabbi Lapin said this, if you have a broken leg, are you going to spend the rest of your life limping around, or are you going to get it fixed? He said, if you're not money motivated, you need to fix that. That's a broken understanding of what money is, and that needs to be corrected. Anytime Rabbi Lapin's in the area, I come and he's become a good friend. Anytime he's in the area, I'll go and listen to him talk. And he goes to Christian churches to tell them it's okay to make money. Isn't that something? It's okay. God wants you to. So that they would what? Give more money to the church. Because they're so broke, they can't give more money. They start making more money, give more money to church. And church what? Operates on money. Money saves souls. Did you know that? Did you know that? How? Because if there wasn't this church, there wouldn't be any saved souls. And guess what it takes? Money to keep this thing going. And he said, and he stood up and said, okay, there's about 200 people in the room. He said, who wants to make more money this year than he did last year? There are 200 people in the room. Now, hold on a second. 8 of us stood up. They're all in my hierarchy. You know what he said? You know what he said? Oh, the rest of you are too pious to want to earn more money. Oh, I'm not one of those. You know what that means? I don't want to have to serve anybody. I don't want to have to make people's lives better. You should pay me because I can breathe, and I'm a good person, and I'm in America, and I deserve to have money. No. That's what the government tries to do, take from the rich and give to the poor. Why? Because the poor are good people. They deserve it. You're stealing from them. You're stealing their hopes and their dreams because they have to rely upon the government. But you know what? Politicians make money by moving money from rich to poor. That's what, give me, I'll take money from the rich and give to you. Wait a second. Is that what you want to do? Is that how you make money in America? No. Why is America the greatest country in the world? Because you can be anybody to start and become wealthy. So how money motivated are you? If I talk to 100 RVPs, if you show me 100 RVPs not making money, I'll show you a spouse that wants to make more money. But they can't motivate the other spouse to do it because they're happy where they are. We have things like cliches. Make too much money, go to hell. Money doesn't buy you happiness. We buy into those cliches. There's more to life than money. Never do anything just for the money. Who's saying that? A guy that makes a salary. And why does he go to work Monday morning? Because there's a paycheck on Friday. That's why he goes to work Monday. They're lying to you. Like I saw this thing with Billy Crystal in this movie. And the mother and the father are just purists, everything organic, don't anything bad. And they came home unexpectedly, and the kids got all this ice cream and cake in their faces saying, "You lied to us. You said yogurt was just like ice cream." People are lying to you about making money, accumulating money, because they don't have the chutzpah to go out and do it. So they try to keep you down and keep you like them. Like this, you know. Well, in Texas, they have what we call people. You know my people. See, my people live in 2,000 square foot houses. All my people. So I'm going to live in a 2,000 square foot house, and anybody that lives in a 5,000 square foot house, they're bad people. And the minute I say, I want a 5,000 square foot house, guess what they say? Oh, no. You don't want to be one of those hungry people that have to have a 5,000 square. Stay down here with the 2,000 square foot people. So guess what we do? We sit down because we're 2,000 square foot people. But then somebody breaks away and says, what? 5,000 square foot houses are great. How'd you get it? I made people's lives better, and I got the 5,000 square foot house. But all the rest of the 2,000 square foot people, to justify that house, say everybody else who has a bigger than a 2,000 square foot house are bad, greedy, no good people. So guess what? I'm one of the bad, greedy, and I am proud of it. You want to have people talking about you. You want to have people say, well, how much is enough? More than you got. Like one guy said, how much is enough, Bill? Well, you tell me how long you're going to live, you tell me life circumstances, and I will tell you how much is enough. This one woman we know, single mom, she joined Primerica years ago, then she quit. She just came down with acute leukemia. She can't work for a month. She's not sure she'll have a job. Do you think she wished she had some more money put away? Has she been in Primerica? Yes. You tell me all the life circumstances. See, in life, you're betting on everything better be perfect. Because if it's not perfect, I'm in trouble. Anyone that says, well, I don't need that much to be happy, tell me how much that is. Tell me how long you're going to live. As I said yesterday, when I get in that airplane, I'm going 35,000 feet. I'm going to be above all the stuff. The 5,000 to 7,000 people are the ones that I just need enough to be happy. How much is enough? I don't need much more than this. This is pretty good. What you want to hear from your friends is, oh, don't be one of those money-hungry people. Go, wow. Like someone said to me, Bill, all you think about is money. What? All you think about is money. All you think about having money. All you think about is accumulating money. I said, do you really see me that way? Yes. I said, good. This is an adult conversation. If you criticizing me for standing up here, you know what that means? You've chosen not to make lives better. You've chosen to stay in a 2,000 square foot and you feel righteous about yourself and pious about yourself. Baloney. You show me a man I'm not into all this money, I'll show you a wife that wishes he were. I tolerate people that don't get the money message. I tolerate it because I have to sit there and listen to it all the time. Why do you have to make so much money? Why do you have to be so much money motivated? You know what? That just means life's been pretty good for them, but you know something? It's coming. The bad times are coming, and Primerica allows you to create and build a storm shelter. All right. You folks from Chicago, I got to talk to them for a second. Once upon a time, there were 3 little pigs. Make sure you get this, right? And one big pig built his house out of what? Straw, twigs, bricks. And then when the storm came, guess whose house they ran to? But they made fun of him in between. So if people are not making fun of you because you're building your storm shelter, they're going to come running to you when times are tough for money. There's a wonderful book out. Again, I really hope you get that book, A Wealth Choice, by Dennis Kimbrough. Wealth is a choice. And if you don't choose to be wealthy, you are automatically choosing to be broke. Because you are every system. If people don't see this out, if they're not recruiting, it drives me nuts. If you're not recruiting 10 people a month, you know what that says? I choose to be broke. Because at 10 people a month, it takes off. And wealth will start chasing you down. You got to be running toward prosperity is. I mean, just quickly running towards it. But I know what you're saying. Some of you are condemning me, and I'm glad. Because I know what your background is. I know what you've been reading. I know what your history is. And you do have a wife that works. Talked to a guy one day, husband and wife, and I started talking about making money. She said, well, even if my husband made a lot of money, I'd still work. I said, what if he's making $250,000 a year? She said, I'd quit tomorrow. I know this rankles you. Good. I'm not here to comfort the afflicted. I'm here to afflict the comfortable. There's a wonderful book called Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. Again, people's belief system, when they spout their beliefs, know what they've read, know who they've associated with, right? We know all about you by your belief system because it tells you the input to create that belief system. So how you think is how you'll do. The book is called Think and Grow Rich. What are you thinking right now? Not much of anything. Guess what you're going to become? Not much of anything. There are 2 kinds of people in the world, thinkers and non-thinkers. The hardest thing in the world to do is to think. Someone said, why do people quit Primerica? I said, so they can go somewhere where they don't have to think. You work for General Motors, just show up. All the work and you'll do a good job. But if someone's paying you a salary, one day they're going to find someone to do it more cheaply. You're either a thinker or a non-thinker. Guess what you're paid here to do first? Think. Dream. Aspire. But in his book, Outwitting the Devil, about halfway through it, he talks about a concept called drifting. And here's what I want you to explain what I'm talking about here, drifting. On your way home today, when you're going 70 miles an hour down the expressway, hold on tight to the steering wheel, and for about 20 seconds, close your eyes. And see if you drift into something good. When we drift, we always drift into something bad. People who drift refuse to think. So they what? End up going someplace where other people do the thinking for them. That's what a politician says. Just let me do the thinking for you. Guess what corporate America says? We'll do the thinking for you. Just come in and do your job. And no one is immune to drifting. I've been drifting. I must admit it. I've been drifting since 6:30 this morning, because that was the last time I wrote out my goals. And that's something. How long has it been since you've written out your goals? Do you even have any goals? Or whatever. Or are you depending upon a politician to make your life better? Or are you depending upon your upline to make your life better? Or are you depending upon a spouse to make your life? Someone's got to start doing the thinking in your family, and it better be you. You just can't turn over your life to people saying, hey, whatever happens, happens, whatever life. See, it's Primerica is a symbol of how you want your life to turn out, not just how you want your business to turn out. You got to be thinking about what you're thinking about. Like when we were super broke, and Carol said to me, are you concerned about all the debt we have? I said, not really. Aren't you bothered? I said, not really. She said, I'm bothered then. I said, about what? I'm bothered that you're not bothered. You have any debt? You didn't sleep last night then, right? You must have had a sleepless night because you got, right? Is that what I got to get rid of this debt. I got to work hard. Is that what you're thinking? No, you went to sleep last night. You know why? You've accepted debt as a way of life. You've accepted it. You got credit cards. You use credit cards as a way of life. You're not, are you debt free yet? You debt free yet? No, why not? What's wrong with you? Who's holding you back? You have the ability to go out and recruit people, make money, get out of debt, accumulate wealth. See, let me tell you what wealth is. Most people, when I say you would have a goal of being wealthy, think cars, clothes, Las Vegas, glitz. No. People who want to be wealthy don't want that stuff. Wealth to the wealthy means I have assets there in place off of which I receive an income so I don't have to work. Dennis Kimbrough said, the poor measure their success, listen to this now, by their cars and their clothes. See my car, see my wheels, look at the clothes I'm wearing. Now they bought it all on credit. He said the middle income measure their success by titles and degrees. I've got a PhD in what? Broke, right? Yeah. I'm an executive vice president in charge of communications for a global institution. How the wealth measure theirs? By their bank account. Where are you? How much longer should you be in debt? Should debt be a part of your life? Should you ever use credit cards? Do you pay cash for cars? Or if you're automatic, I need a car, so I'll pay it. No, you don't buy a car until you pay cash. Oh, un-American. Some of you borrowed money for your meal yesterday. Borrowed money to eat a meal? Yeah, I can use my credit card. You know what? I never use credit card. Rarely. Maybe travel, that's the only time. Other than that, I pay cash for it. I use a debit card, but I pay cash for everything. I hate debt, don't you? Then when are you getting out? You can't, if you don't hate it, you'll stay in it. You know what drifting is? Aimless wandering. Whatever. How many recruits going to get this month? Well, 2. He's asking me, 2? Who's in charge? I need to talk to somebody in charge of your life. It's obviously not you. Do you know that if you double digit, your life will change forever? Did you double digit last month? No. So you know what that means? I don't want my life to change forever. You know why? I don't need the money. I'd like to have the money. I ain't going to kill myself to make the money. I'm not going to double digit just to make money. You have a money problem. You don't have any money goals. You are wandering aimlessly. If you don't double digits to me is the end all be all. The aimless wanderer doesn't strive for 10 because they know what? If I hit 10, it'll take off. So unless you're recruiting 10 people a month, organization on your team. Did you at least get 2 or 3 recruits last month? Well, no, not really. I got to get my recruiting going. No, you got to get your money motivation going. Another word for indifference is, drifting is mental indifference. I flunked out of college twice. South side of Chicago, went to 2 universities, flunked out twice, and then I read a book on how to study. Because I thought my problem was I don't know how to study. Like some of you think, the problem is you don't know how to recruit. You know what it said? You don't have a study problem, you have a goal problem. I was drifting through life and drifting caught up with me. And I paid the punishment and the consequences of drifting. And you will. Like guy says, I don't know how I got this overweight. Oh, I know. Like I talked to a guy, said the other day, I said, you want to lose weight? Yes, never look at a menu. What? Never look at a menu. You walk in knowing what you're going to eat. But if you let it, depends upon, because you know what? Your mind will automatically go to the most luscious, great, terrible stuff. Never look at a menu. But you got to make up your mind before you go to the restaurant, I'm not looking at any menus. Here's the point. Is your mind activated to a better life? Or are you accepting the life that was handed down by your parents, by your teachers, by your association with other people, and you are what you are? You know this. Take the average 5 people you hang around, you're making what they're making. Some of you got to stop hanging around certain people in Primerica. In Primerica. Because those people are not serving you. They're holding you back because their thoughts become your thoughts, like your kids. You know that you don't want your kids hanging around a certain amount of people because you become who you associate with. Your income will be who you associate with. You hang around $1 million earners, guess what? You're going to want to make $1 million a year. You hang around $100,000 earners, you're going to want to make $100,000 a year. You hang around people not motivated by making money, and you will be not motivated by making money. I want you to hold that thought. You ever hear that? Hold that thought. What thought are you holding? I came into Primerica, I had 3 significant goals. Make all the money I can, right? That's not a goal. Your mind doesn't understand all the money I can. What does that mean? Do you want to be an RVP? What does that mean, RVP? What do you mean? I want to be an RVP. What does that mean, RVP? Now, if you tell me I want to make $100,000, now I know what you're talking about. You should never have a goal of RVP, SVP. No, you should have a goal of what? 100,000, 200, 300, 400, because the mind only understands numbers, doesn't understand titles. RVP is a college thing, middle income thing, titles, degrees. I've got a Series 85, wonderful. What does that mean? First goal I had is I wanted to make $100,000 a year. That's when 100,000 is like 300. Second goal is I wanted to accumulate $100,000 investments. Third goal is I want to be a millionaire by the time I was 40. I accomplished all 3 of those things. What if I had not set those goals? What if I decided to drift? I'd be gone from Primerica. The drifters leave Primerica because they wake up one day and forgot all the reasons they were in Primerica. And no one wants a drift life. Where's your anchor? Again, recruiting to me tells me everything I need to know about your dreams, goals, desires. A guy came up to you one day and said, let me tell you why I'm not coming to the Fast Start School. I said, I know all about you. I know your dreams. I know your goals. I know your aspirations. I know how much money you want to make. I know whether or not you want your wife to work. I know whether or not you want to retire your parents. I know whether or not you want to pay cash for your college education for your kids. He said, how do you know all that? I said, I know all that because you're not coming to the Fast Start School. You double digit last month? No. I know all about you. I know your dreams. I know your goals. I know your desires. I know your aspirations. Why? Because you didn't double digit last month. If you double digit, that tells me I know where this guy's going. I know what they want out of life. I know the kind of money they want to make. Aimless wandering. How's that going for you? You know, in the battle of World War II, the biggest, baddest, bloodiest battle was Iwo Jima. And on that battle, I think they lost like 9,000 men died, like 30,000 men were injured. So it was a pretty important island to capture because they needed to capture that island to put a landing strip so they can what? Invade Japan, right? They had to get it. So it's very bloody, and the Japanese have been entrenched. And of course, we won the battle there. They won the battle there. And I mean, 50,000 people's lives were changed forever. The Japanese had like 20,000 to 30,000 deaths on that island. And you cannot go to that island but one day a year by invitation only to this day because the Japanese own it again. And the men who left there wanted to memorialize the deaths. You know what they said? They left a plaque and said, when you go home, tell them and say, for your tomorrows, we gave our today. When you go home tonight and you tuck your kids in, what are you going to say? For your tomorrows, I gave up my today. Thank you very much for having me.